when you're struggling with it. And of course, right now I'm talking about YouTube. If you're joining me, definitely leave a comment. Tell me, let me know that you're here, where you're joining me from. I would love to know. Also, if you have questions in regards to getting started with YouTube, I would love to hear what they are. If I don't have a video already created for it, then that would be a cue for me to create one. So, what I wanted to talk about today, because this is something that I've heard a few people recently talking about, so I'm not sure if it's a more widespread issue or not, but when I hear something that I can relate to and I can share information on to help someone else, then that's what I love to do. So, that is what I'm going to talk about today. And if you are a female entrepreneur, business owner, it's my cat Chloe, over 40, so female business owner, entrepreneur over 40, and you are wanting to get started on YouTube, or you already have a YouTube channel and you're wanting to know how to scale it, you're in the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and you will love the content that I am creating because it will help you do all those things. So today, how do you get started if you're struggling with YouTube? Here's the thing. There's a lot of different things. So when we say struggle, we really have to identify what that struggle is, right? Is getting started with YouTube, is it all about education? I've got my notes here. If you're wondering why I'm holding my notebook. Is it about education? Like you don't know what you don't know. You don't know the first step that you need to take to start your YouTube channel. You don't know what you need to do or the frequency that you need to upload videos. You don't know what type of it. Like there's a lot of uncertainty. So it could be education. You're not sure what you need to do or where to start. It could be financial. You're thinking that you need to spend a lot of money on equipment and, having somebody edit your videos and, all of this money going out without seeing how it's actually going to come back in. If that's one of your struggles, definitely go watch my video from last week because I talked about how to monetize your YouTube channel if you're a smaller channel. Meaning, if you haven't gotten into the YouTube Partner Program where you place the ads in your videos, you'll definitely want to watch that because that will help you plan your videos, have a more solid strategy with your YouTube channel so that you can take all measures and do what you can with what you already have to have some sort of ROI on there. So that would be one thing I would say if it's financial. Also, I want to mention with the financial side of it too is that if you're joining me, please say hi. Let me know that you're here, where you're joining me from. I would love to know. On the financial side too, there is all kinds of things, as we know, online in YouTube, on YouTube in particular, that if you wanted to set up a YouTube channel on your own, there's a lot of resources on my channel. There's a lot of resources on a lot of different channels. So you really do have everything that you need online to find out everything that you need to do in order to build a YouTube channel, right? So if you're looking for free information, there's plenty of it out there. Where you're going to have the financial impact is on your time, right? And I'm all about free, especially if you're just getting started and you don't know where to begin. With free information, you can start to learn like what's included, what's going to be involved, and kind of get a better understanding of what it might be like to invest in starting a YouTube channel and creating videos and doing all the things that you need to have a successful channel. So you'll need to do that. But the only thing I will say is that, hey Wyatt, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. So what I would say too on the financial side of the struggling is that the free will get you so far, right? So we'll find out anything that we can for free. If you wanted to build a house on your own, you could literally go out there and watch all kinds of channels on how to plan a house, what you need to do with like the ground and preparing it, the concrete, the footers, everything that you need to know. What you won't be able to do though, now you could actually build the house, right? But you're not going to know all of the rules and regulations and the quality controls and the approvals and the different milestones and all the things that you need to know in between. Hey there, I think it's a tree. I got my glasses. I brought them this time. TWC. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for saying hi. So it's all about looking at it from that perspective. At some point, you're going to have all the free information that you need. You could be building your channel, but you're going to hit a wall at some point where you're like, I need to take this a step further. And I'm a good example of that, not just from my YouTube channel, but from my business. So I thought I could do all of the things and build my business on my own. I've got the knowledge, I know how to do it, the financials, all the things. But I needed to hire a coach because I knew that that was going to give me the clarity, the direction, the accountability that I needed to not just kind of organize the chaos that I didn't realize was in front of me and that I was like in the middle of actually, but it was also giving me the direction, ideas, someone to bounce ideas off of, and then their expertise and knowledge too to kind of help direct me in the path that I needed to go. Let me see. I'm going to read comments too. Um, yeah, if you guys have questions regarding getting started with your YouTube channel, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear them. So, yeah, so at some point you're going to need to hire somebody to help you take your channel to the next level. And the video that I published on Wednesday of this past week was all about how to make money on YouTube. And if you're just getting started in small channels, that's what it was geared towards. Because there's ways that you can do that, and you can, tap into some resources that you already have maybe on some other platforms, maybe you're already using to make money on. And look at it from that perspective too, that on your YouTube channel, you're not just out there wanting to waste time and, just kind of like post videos like what I call willy-nilly. There's a strategy, there's a purpose, you're doing it with intention. And in doing that, it's all about how can I at some point get a return on my investment. And that's one of the better things about, I love all the social media platforms, don't get me wrong. I'm on all of them. But the one thing about YouTube, and then of course TikTok, is they're all about helping you not only monetize your videos, but also they stay out there longer. So they're searchable, they're more relevant. So it kind of, you have to kind of think of it longer and bigger picture than just the immediate, siloed approach. So from a financial standpoint, yes, get everything that you need online, and then you can, hire somebody, a coach. If I'm a good fit for you, I'd love to have that conversation. I'm not a good fit for everybody. And like I mentioned, I work with women who are entrepreneurs, business owners over 40. And even then, I may not be a good fit. There's plenty of people out there who do what I do. So it's all about like finding that person who's going to be a good fit for you. Work related, another struggle. If you've got a full-time job and you're wanting to transition into your own business, or you're thinking about doing YouTube as a side hustle, it's definitely doable. But you do have to spend time planning ahead, because if you're just going to, again, go forward and just start doing things haphazardly without any strategy, without any intention, you're going to find out that you get, I don't want to say bored, but you get frustrated, and then you're not going to be getting the results that you actually want to achieve. So unless that's your approach, you just want to do willy-nilly approach, then go for it. But I want to work with women who are business owners and entrepreneurs over 40 who are wanting to scale their business. They want to generate high quality leads, and they want to establish or expand on the credibility and authority that they already have on other channels and expand on that with YouTube. So it's completely possible. Even if you are working for another company, if they don't have, if you're working a 9 to 5 and they don't have a YouTube channel, there might be an opportunity for you, obviously, depending on the role that you play at that company, to raise your hand and say, hey, can we try this? Give some thought to it, kind of have like a real, sketched out draft version of what that might look like. Because if you're going to go to a leadership team or the C-suite and say, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel, there's going to be a lot of questions. Like, why do you want to start it? What's it going to be? What type of content are you going to post? Who needs to be involved? All of those things are going to be part of those questions, including what's the ROI? Are we going to be able to make money from this? How are we going to generate leads? Those sorts of things. So you want to make sure that you have that included. Again, if you're just joining me, I've got notes. Another struggle that people have had, and I hadn't given this any thought, but it makes complete sense because I actually encountered this a while back, is that they struggle with their relationships. So you might have somebody either a boss, a partner, kids, parents, just relationships at home or friendships where you might feel like you can't move forward with a YouTube channel because what will people think? What right do I have to start a YouTube channel? That's only for, insert whoever you think it's only, built for. So there might be all of these outside influences that are holding you back from starting your YouTube channel or, moving forward with the one that you've got. And so that is something that you have to take into consideration, because if you're responsible for time and taking care of other people and you're part of another relationship, YouTube is going to require you to have some time to dedicate to it, unless you hire somebody to do the majority of everything for you, except for actually recording the video. I only work with people who want to be on camera. And you can definitely have a successful YouTube channel off camera, and especially if you're going to use AI. That's just not where I am. I'm about, helping women get more visibility by being on cameras. That's just my niche, and that's where I kind of fall into. So it is something that if you do struggle with relationships, then it is something that, maybe have a conversation with those individuals, and not necessarily looking for approval, but just kind of say, hey, here's something that I'm thinking about doing, and obviously have a general idea of like what you want to do with your YouTube channel, and then have that discussion with them at that point. No, I didn't write everything in the notebook. Just bullet points, things I wanted to cover. I couldn't memorize this. I don't have the brain capacity for that. It wouldn't come across natural either. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, like struggles associated with YouTube, because obviously it can go in different directions like I've been talking about. But one of the things that I've struggled with along the way as well, and I know others do too, is the emotional side of it. So there's a lot of times that we tell tell ourselves things like, we're not good enough, I don't have the time, I don't know what to talk about, I don't want to be on camera, I don't have the confidence, what will people talk about? So you're kind of getting into that emotional side of the struggle that maybe you did start, but then you're just like, I just don't have it in me anymore. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to talk about. And when you start saying those things out loud or to yourself, you're creating more of an emotional issue, with yourself, and actually moving forward with starting or growing your YouTube channel. So that does with me. So I've gone through phases too, where it's just been like, I just need to take a break, from YouTube. And so there's a mindset shift that helped me. So I kept saying, okay, I don't want to do the videos. I don't want to post a video this week. I don't know what to talk about. Well, if I keep saying that to myself, and it makes sense, right? So hear me out. It makes sense that if you're constantly, and again, I'm using me as an example, where I was just like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't feel like it today. At what point are you going to have something to talk about? At what point are you going to feel like it? And at what cost, right? So to find things to talk about is everywhere. Even if you're just like, I get that way sometimes too, so I'm like, got all these great ideas, I put them someplace, I can't find them. And then it's just like my mind goes blank. I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't I have anything to talk about? I'm like, I have so many different things to talk about. I can go back through the comments. What are things that people are asking questions on? What are things that people are struggling with? Like I said at the beginning of this, it was about, I've heard, and I didn't know if it was a big issue or not. I've just heard people over the last few days, maybe the last week, talk about that they struggle with YouTube. And so when I really started to think about it, I'm like, struggle can take on so many different meanings, which is why I'm going down this list of like different struggles that I came up with, where I was just like, it could be this kind of struggle. And I didn't want to just dive in and say, okay, well, you just need to overcome it and just move forward. I know there's a lot more to it than that. And going forward on the emotional side, it's, okay, if I don't feel like it, at what point am I going to feel like it? And then it kind of goes back to the whole thing of like, why am I doing this to begin with, right? So if you're starting YouTube just because you want to be like Mr. Beast, right, the #1 YouTuber in the world, then that's not a good enough reason, because it's not going to keep you moving forward for a long amount of time. You might be able to do it for a short amount of time, be like, yeah, because you got that, that passion and that energy to get started like we do normally when we start anything new. But then you get to a point you're just like, God, this sucks. You're not getting the engagement that you wanted to. You weren't getting the response that you wanted to. If you're using affiliate links or you're using like brands in your videos and you're not seeing any type of reaction or engagement or results from those, you can very quickly get frustrated with that. And it's going to be really difficult for you to, get past all of that. So at some point, you kind of have to stop and think, well, first recognize that you're having those thoughts. And then also look at, okay, well, if I'm having these thoughts of, I don't know where to start, I don't, I don't have the information, I don't feel like doing this today, then you just really need to stop and be like, okay, well, I do want to do this, and here's why I want to do it. And then come up with a more realistic plan on how you're going to make it happen. So, an example, if you were wanting to be like Mr. Beast and you're like, I got to post every day and I got to make these super fancy videos and I have to have all these people involved, I need to give away money and like all the things that he does. I mean, you're taking, you're comparing your chapter one, right? You're just getting started to his chapter 1,000. When he first got started, if you go back and look at his original videos, he wasn't even on camera and he started as a gamer. And I counted his videos at one point. I think it was he didn't show his face on camera. And it was just for a brief moment, like until his 200th video or something. Like it took a while for him to get to that point. But then he's also published like, I don't know how many, I should have looked, how many different videos he's published to get him to where he is right now. Plus, he's built up to that point, and it's something that he's super passionate about. If you listen to any interviews, even to this day, and he's been doing it for, I don't know, 10 years, if you look at any videos that he talks about today, he still has that same passion to move forward and still be that number one YouTuber and to create these amazing experiences for people who are part of his community. And I don't know if you've seen it recently or not, but I just saw this. I don't know if it was on YouTube. I think it was on my phone when I was scrolling last night. And he's he's calling it Beast Games, I think. It's going to be on, I don't know if it's going to be on Amazon Prime, but he's coming out with a show where he's doing this competitive type thing, like what he does in his videos, but he's getting more and more people involved in this. So to go from like not being on YouTube at all to trying to put yourself in that same space that he is, there's going to be some emotional, changes there along the way because you just can't get to where he is like instantly, right? So it's something that needs to be built up to, and there has to be a plan. And really, if anyone's trying to be like Mr. Beast, like there's already a Mr. Beast. So what else can you do if you like that strategy and you like how he's got the community and how engaged they are? I mean, he spends a lot of money to create his videos and to get them the way that they are and to get the people involved as well. So you would really need to go back and do the research to see what that looked like when he started. It would just be a whole thing. So if that is something that you want to do, I would say go back, do the research. But getting back to the emotional struggle, it's all about, at some point you need to have a mindset shift, right? So if you do want to be Mr. Beast, you come back and like, okay, I want to do this, and you do all the research and you just move forward, but you're not seeing the results, then you need to kind of take a step back and say, what is it about what I'm doing that's not in alignment with who I am and what I want to do? And if you still want to go in that direction, then you need to look at what's holding you back or what's in your way from moving forward. What do you need to do differently? So it's all about asking the questions to identify what needs to change in order to get you where you need to go. The only thing is that, and it's not an only thing, it's with anything, you're not going to know what you don't know until you take action. So the only way to find out if that's the right direction or if that's the right path is to just start. So there's no rules around at what point you have to start. One of the things, and I'll just mention this, it's not in my notes, it just came to me, but I've mentioned it recently because we're approaching that time of year where everybody's like, I'm going to set a New Year's resolution, which I love. I love the fact that people want to do something new, do something, to challenge themselves, and they've got, the perfect time of year to do it. My mentality is if you want to do something, why not do it now? So, and if you're passionate about something, then we don't need to wait until the turn of a calendar. And I might be making some people mad right now. If you're watching this live or if you're, and if you are watching the replay. Um, so it does take some time to, really evaluate like what that looks like. And if you want to start now, don't wait till January 1st. Like there's probably going to be a ton of other people who have that on their list as well. So now you're going to be competing with those other individuals who are saying, I'm going to start YouTube on January 1st. So if you start now, you get a head start, right? And so you kind of get ahead of that. And your channel start date does play into this very small percentage of when and how your videos get pushed out. So if you have one that's earlier and it's marked 2024 versus 2025, could be the difference in you getting seen more than somebody else. Not saying that that's a surefire way to make it happen, but why not start now? That's my thing. Okay, so the last one is time. I have terrible handwriting. Time structure. That doesn't make any sense. It should. I would think it would be time commitment. So what do you say? Time. The struggle with time. It does take time. If you've started, even if you've created videos for any of the other platforms, it's not sitting at a keyboard and typing something out, right? If you're on camera, then it does require, what am I going to talk about even before you press record? And then let's just say you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about the weather today, and you press record. You still have to know, like, what are you going to talk about with the weather? Who's going to be interested in that topic? Are those the people who you want to work with? Are those the people who need to know about the weather? And then what does that mean? What do you want them to do after they watch your video about weather? So you have to think through that whole thing to understand, even before you press record. The same thing is true though on all the other platforms. Like you're not going to create a post for Facebook or LinkedIn or even on Instagram or TikTok without knowing like what you're going to do, like what the purpose is. And even if you're in an entertainment vertical, you still have to figure out like what is the call to action? Do I just want somebody to watch my next video? Do I want to include a link? Maybe you're on TikTok and you've got a TikTok shop. What does that look like? What's the message going to be? What am I going to talk about my video so it sounds natural and not like I'm trying to sell something, right? So there's a lot of thought that needs to go into that. But if you're passionate about what you're doing and about your business, then it's important to, yeah, if you have a question, let me know. Sorry, can we be friends? So if you're thinking about, how you need to post information or like which platform you need to post information on, then it's all about just knowing your intentions. Who do you want to attract? Who do you want to work with? What problems do you solve? And where are those individuals spending time? So really that's what it comes down to. And if there are other struggles that I did not mention, I talked about financial, education, work-related, relationships, emotional, and then time something. I think it says time structure. I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, great. You have a question, like, are you asking a question like, can you use like your Instagram reels on as YouTube shorts? Let me know what that question is regarding Instagram and YouTube. Because if you're already posting videos on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Instagram as reels, then yes, I would say use those on YouTube shorts with an exception. There's always an exception. All of the platforms, meaning like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, no, well, not so much LinkedIn. We'll just say TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. They are all aware of, even if you take the logo off the video, they still know where those videos are coming from. So if you create a video on YouTube or on Instagram and you download it, even before you publish it, and then you upload it to YouTube, YouTube can still see that video came from Instagram. Don't ask me how, but I've tested it, and the performance is always a lot lower on the videos that I download from Instagram before I publish it than if I create it in an app or just use my camera on my phone and then edit it in a app like CapCut, which I love. And if you don't have that, that would be a great one to start with. It's super easy to use and it's free. There's a lot of free features in there. No, I watch YouTube a lot to watch and talk to people on Instagram. Oh, okay. So no questions. um, so those are the different things. If there's other struggles that you have, if you're here live, feel free to drop it right now. Let me see if it's something that I can address. Um, and if you are watching the replay, leave your questions or struggle in the comments. And as soon as I see it posted, I'm very quick to respond as long as I'm awake. That's all I wanted to review today. If you have questions about like whether or not I have videos on other topics, the one that I talked about last week on my live stream, which is Descript, which is it's a video editing tool that has I'm just like my brain's going crazy because I finished the video and it's uploaded. It's publishing tonight at just before 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because in my analytics it shows that between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time is when the best time is to publish. So that's one of the really good things too. When you start publishing content, you have analytics available that's going to help guide you to where you need to be to get the most exposure. YouTube's all about helping creators. They want to get you views. They want to get you subscribers. They're there to work with you, not against you. But you have to start, right? So that video published tonight, and in the live stream last week, I was talking to someone who joined, who was talking about being interested in that video. So it's Descript, which is the name of the video editing app. It's got AI tools built into it, and I walk through how you can use those different features. And the tutorial itself is about 16 and a half minutes, but the actual walkthrough itself is less than 15 minutes. So I would encourage you, if you want to learn how to very easily edit videos, then this is going to be a really great video for you, because it's going to be, what's really cool is that you're not even getting into the video to edit it. When you upload a video to Descript, it automatically transcribes it. And so you've got your video on one side and you've got your transcript on the other side. So it's like having a Google Doc or a Word doc. And so you're editing the video with the text, the Word doc essentially. So just envision your Word doc or your Google Doc, and you're going through and you're like, I need to delete this sentence, and you highlight it and you click delete on your keyboard, and then it's gone, right? You read it again, it's gone. Same thing is true with the videos in Descript. You use that, you highlight that sentence, you hit delete, it's out of the video. So you no longer have to worry about, seeing this video that you have to edit. You have text that you can use to edit your video, which is super cool. So I've got that publishing tonight before 6 p.m. There's a link there that you can access to watch it, of course, but then a link that you can use to create your account on Descript so that you can walk through it with me as I walk through the tutorial. So I kind of walk you through different aspects of things that are important. I didn't do like a full deep dive on it because that would have been a little bit overwhelming if you're just getting started with it. But it's going to be available to you there. If you like CapCut, or if you're interested in using CapCut, then there's actually 2 tutorials on my profile. So you can just search the videos on my channel and just search for CapCut. There's one for beginners, and that was, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago. It's still getting a lot of views. It's got like 18,000 views, a lot of questions and comments. So you can go look at that, and it's a detailed walkthrough of how to use CapCut. And then there's a second one that's more advanced. And then I also have one on my channel for Veed, VEED.io. And that's it's a simpler version of a video editing tool, but it's really cool too. It's got some cool features with how to add B-roll. Super easy way. It's got a great media library too. So there's different options, and there's everything that you need on there, including like, what do I need to do to make sure my videos are optimized when I upload them to my channel? I just did a video on that a few weeks ago. I walk you through everything from, making sure that your video file name is optimized, keywords, your description, your thumbnail, all that stuff. So when in doubt, go to my channel, search and see if there's anything there that's going to help you. Hopefully there is, because I'm trying to think through the entire process and see how I can continue to fill in, the gaps, and then even go deeper on some things that people are more interested in. And I'll also continue to show up live here every Saturday until the end of the year, and then I'll just kind of play it by ear after that and see if I'm going to continue or not. Same time, 10 a.m. Eastern time on my channel. And thank you so much for being here. Those of you who are live, don't forget to like this video. And if you aren't already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I continue to provide information and videos on how you can get started with YouTube. And then I'm also going to start taking it up a level and start talking about how, if you already have a YouTube channel, how you can start tapping into the knowledge that you already have, resources like your affiliate links, your brand deals, even your business, your online courses, your programs, how you can incorporate those into your videos and then start scaling your business through a tool like YouTube where it works for you 24/7. So that's always like your next step. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy your day. And thank you for spending this part of your day with me. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now.